Hello and welcome to the week ahead video. Quite a few things to brief you on then ahead of the next 5 trading sessions as we head through the final days of September and into October. We see the beginning of the fourth quarter of 2014 and the final months of 2014 as a whole. It's quite busy. On Thursday we have the ECB rate decision where it's already pretty much a foregone conclusion that the ECB will not announce any further policy measures given the announcements we saw last month, where of course we saw the announcement of the asset-backed securities and covered bond purchase program. Still quite a few question marks over this program itself though, which were expected to see divulged this Thursday, which is just how much of these ABS and covered bonds are the ECB going to buy, over what time period, and exactly what securities will they purchase, which will make up the balance sheet of the ECB, which is expected to rise back towards €1 trillion within the next couple of months, given the fundamental programs that the ECB now have in place. Speaking of which, we'll more than likely see a comment out of Draghi on the disappointing uptake of the first Teltro operation, where less than a quarter of the funds offered were actually taken up by banks from across the Eurozone. So that's due on Thursday, following which, a day after, we have the change in non-farm payrolls out of the US, expected to bounce back over 200,000 to 205,000, with the US unemployment rate at a formidable 6.1%. If this does come in higher than expected, that'll add some further fuel to the case of the hawks, many of which have been particularly vocal recently, with Fed's Fisher just over the weekend saying that the Fed could potentially be behind the curve on rate hikes given the inflation outlook. Elsewhere though, back in the UK, we have the first real data seen since the Scottish independence referendum some weeks back, where we have the services, manufacturing and of course the construction PMI of the UK, which will give us the latest growth performance for the UK economy, despite the CBI survey over the weekend actually showing that growth slowed somewhat in the third quarter. This is as we head through towards the BOE rate decision, which we would expect to be on the first Thursday of this month. However, that's actually due next week, so don't expect a rate decision from the BOE ahead of the ECB this Thursday. Of course, we'll bring you all those releases as soon as they hit the wires, as well as any other relevant commentary to your trading. But in the meantime, that's all from me. Make sure you have a fantastic 5 days of trade.